15 minutes. Yes, let's go, baby. It is freaking Friday. Let's rank it rock here, Tone. Tone to Shields, Rob Ellis hanging out with you. Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. What's up, fam? What is up, Rome? Jim G, Tampa Eagle, Chris D. Chris D's back. Where you been, Chris D? Blutorium, Cody's nuts. Chris D and Decoy Gaming. Tone, what's up, man?
Oh, man, I feel great, man. Blessed by the best. It's Friday. I can't ask for anything more, man. How about you?
Oh, good, man. Yeah, I mean, look, do I wish the game was Sunday? Yes. We keep it real here. We're honest.
Yeah, that part.
But you know what provides? You talked about it last week. It gives you another Sunday where you can kind of just kick back, chill, watch the other games, get a better feel for the everybody else, and it's stress free. And then Monday is stressful
until Monday, right?
Monday is stressful. Yes,
Monday already comes with its own set of challenges, right?
Yeah,
now I have to add a football game on top of that. So,
yes.
Man, it's going to be a hell of a matchup, man. Eagles versus Chiefs is the matchup we all been waiting for, man. The Super Bowl rematch. But we all know this is only a crumb to the bigger loaf of bread here. So we're trying to continue to keep our heads down here, stay focused on the main thing, and look, let's get this W on Monday, man. I'm excited for it.
Amen. And we are going to just every single angle you could possibly conceive of. We are going to look at this thing. Oh, Christy. All right, let's see. I said, where's Christy been? Classes all week except for Friday. So I'm in my favorite spot this afternoon with you guys. Thank you, Chris.
Awesome.
Thank you. You're the best. You're the best. We missed you. It's the only reason I brought it up. I know you're not slacking. I know how hard you work, Christy. I know what you got going on. But no, it's good to be hanging out with all you guys. Hit the like button if you could, friends. We appreciate that. Very excited for the game on Monday. That's for sure. And I'll tell you, Tone, we had a game that we were excited for last night, with the Ravens and the Bengals. It had a lot of steam taken out of it in game when Burrow goes down. Not only that, I mean, this was a devastating game, really, potentially for both teams. The Ravens lose Mark Andrews, stud tight end. And that Burrow thing, when you're just throwing a pass and you crumble over in pain, it's a bad sign, man, on both fronts.
Yeah, I can only imagine how frustrating it is for him for the simple fact that, he's been battling injury, for the better part of the first part of the season.
Yeah.
And he finally started to get his swing back. He finally started to get healthy. And all of a sudden, now he's dealing with a hand injury, not just any hand injury, but to the throwing hand. After the game, there was some footage that was posted on the socials of him talking to, I believe it was Patrick Queen or one of the Ravens linebackers. I can't remember exactly who it was.
Yeah.
But they were able to read his lips, and you know how they put the subtitles at the bottom of everything. Essentially what he said to the linebacker was, I heard something pop, so we'll see what we'll see what happens.
That's not
So that's not really a good sign. On top of that, word is the Bengals are under fire and under a probe by the NFL because of the simple fact that apparently he came into that game with something on his hand, some kind of device, some kind of wrap.
When he got off
they didn't have on injury list. Yeah, when he got the plane,
it's like the Zapruder film now. We're like going tight in on the shot to see it, and he's just getting like grabbing his luggage with the other hand. But he had one of those hand braces that you see people that are coming off of some kind of surgery or something like that. Yeah. Soft, not a cast, a wrap, but more.
It was something very sleek, it was black, and it kind of looked like it wrapped around a finger, and it looked like some kind of brace or support for the thumb or whatever it may be. So who knows?
But the problem now is with gambling, especially, the bettors want to know if there's something going on, and this is very real. The NFL takes the injury list very seriously, and I think the Bengals are going to be in some trouble for this one.
Well, and let's make sure we got this thing accurate here. They don't take injury seriously. They take their money seriously.
Correct.
That's what it is.
That's Rob. Correct.
They take their money seriously.
Yes, absolutely. So I think that's the thing to watch here. I think the Bengals will end up getting fined or something. I don't think it's going to be that big a deal. The big deal is if Burrow's out or done, they're done. And they're already they're teetering right now after that loss last night. I mean, I'm talking about a team that started off very poorly, got hot, had a bad loss last week, and then loses last night. Like, I don't know that I'm going to – if Burrow's out, I'm absolutely writing him off. If Burrow could come back, maybe they still have a chance. They're in big trouble right now.
Yeah, that would be the second quarterback to go down in the AFC North in a matter of 2 weeks. Not a, it's almost like they're trying to gift the Ravens this, this division, and I'm not saying like the league, but more so just the
No,
football.
just the circumstances, in other words.
The
Yeah.
football guys would have it so that the Ravens run away with this division. So, as it stands right now, I believe the Ravens, they are 8-3. They're 8-3. Steelers are 6-3. Browns 6-3, and Bengals are 5-5. The lonely team looking out from the wayside. And I'll be honest, if Burrow misses even another week, if he misses 1 week, their season is over. It's already hanging on by a thread. You have teams that are starting to catch on, like the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what the Buffalo Bills are able to do, if they're able to bounce back and somehow sneak in. The Raiders are trying to turn the corner right now.
Right.
As much as the Chargers look bad, still got to pay attention to them. They have they're 4-5. They have 8 games left. Who knows? So this is something that we all have to pay attention to, especially on the AFC side.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see how this thing pans out, man. I hope everything doesn't affect anything in the long term.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. And if we get anything during the show, obviously we'll talk about it. We'll pass it along.
Mm-hmm.
Sixers at the Hawks tonight. Another in-season tournament game. Woohoo! Tonight. We'll see. Embiid's dealing with a hip. So I don't know, Tone. We'll see if he plays tonight, but at some point, let me look at their schedule, actually, what they have coming up. At some point, he's going to sit. And I feel like we're kind of building to that. He was questionable for both games last week. They're at Atlanta tonight, at Brooklyn on Sunday. I'm thinking one of those two games he doesn't play. I don't know which, but I'm thinking one of those two games he probably doesn't play. Would be my guess.
Yeah, Embiid, man, throughout his entire career, health has always been the thing. It's early in the season, so I'm not going to kill him for it just yet. But again, someone of his size, someone of his importance to the organization, they need him as healthy as possible when it matters most. So, look, man, get your bumps and bruises now, because after the All-Star break, I don't want to hear a damn thing.
No. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, or playoffs, more importantly.
Exactly.
More importantly. Because that's the biggest thing, is that not only have they underachieved, they're always limping to the finish line because they're beat up. Whether it's Joel's always got something. And some of it's just really bad luck. He breaks his face, whatever. But there's always something. I mean, what literally?
No, yeah. I remember when that happened, man. That was just one of the most unfortunate things I've ever seen. And I said to myself when that happened, I'm thinking to myself, you're killing this team. Why is he still in the game? And lo and behold,
good old Doc. Yep.
Having the way it happened.
Yeah.
But it's all good, though. We have some football to talk about. We have the Eagles to talk about.
We do.
A team that provides us significantly more optimism.
Yes, sir. All right. So I want to hit you with this one. Let me early hit you with the Eagles question of the day. All right. So we look at this game with the Chiefs. Got a lot of big boys, a lot of studs in this thing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My question is, how many players playing in this game on Monday night will end up in the Hall of Fame in your estimation? Who are they, and how many guys will end up in the Hall of Fame?
It's, when you asked me this, it made me start thinking about the guys who were kind of borderline. Like, damn, is he a Hall of Fame player, or is he just a Hall of very, very good? You know what I mean?
There's a big difference, and it's a blurred line now these days.
Right. It seems like the Hall of Fame is getting more and more lenient with whoever gets in.
Yep.
So I feel like, you and I both know the obvious choices off the top of our heads are the Kelce brothers. They're getting in. The Kelce brothers are definitely getting in. Jason Kelce and Travis Kelce, respectively. Jason Kelce, arguably one of the greatest centers to ever put his game. He is the greatest center to ever play for the Philadelphia Eagles. There hasn't been a center that we've seen that can move like him, that can get to the second level like him, that can run in open space like him and just block. He's one of a kind. On top of that, he's doing everything he's doing while being one of the smaller centers in the game.
Yep.
So that's something to behold. Also, he's one of the architects, one of the main guys behind one of the most unstoppable plays in NFL history, the brotherly shove. So he's going to go down in history as being one of those guys as well. So I think, obviously, for those reasons, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Travis Kelce, no introduction needed, man. One of the greatest tight ends ever played, one of the most explosive, one of the most productive, has played with one of the best quarterbacks ever, one of the best coaches. a guy who used to be a quarterback in college, transition to tight end so he can, extend his career. And he is who he is, man. He's him. So Travis Kelce, for obvious reasons, the Kelce brothers are definitely getting in. The other guy I thought about on the Eagles side was Lane Johnson. I think Lane Johnson is going to get in. He may not be first ballot, but I think he'll be second ballot or something like that. Lane Johnson, one of the best right tackles of his era. We understand right tackles don't get as much love as left tackles, but in this new NFL, right tackles got to be just as good, damn near close to as good as the left tackle because of these edge rushers coming off both sides. Most teams have two dominant edge rushers. You got to have two dominant tackles, and Lane Johnson has been that for the Philadelphia Eagles. Mahomes, obviously. Yeah. Mahomes is definitely going to the Hall of Fame. There's no question. We already know what his legacy is. No need to spend too much time on it. He is him. He is that guy. He is the baby GOAT continuing to develop in front of our very eyes. And this is just where it gets tricky. And this is where you got to come in and help me out with this because, is Fletcher Cox a borderline or is he a Hall of Famer for the Philadelphia Eagles? If A.J. Brown keeps pace with the way he's been productive, could he potentially be a Hall of Famer if he continues to stay as dominant, as productive as he's been? Still very young in his career. This is all foresight. But Fletcher Cox, he's on the tail end. So let's start with him. Is Fletcher Cox a borderline Hall of Famer? Is he in? Is he second ballot?
Well, you tell me, and then I'll give you my list to tell me if you think he gets in.
I don't think he does. I don't
think he does either. He wouldn't make my list. Fletcher falls into the just on the outside looking in category.
Just on the outside looking in.
Which means you had an unbelievable career. Yeah, by the way. That's not a put down in any way, shape, or form. That is, you had an unbelievable career. You're just short of Canton. So,
yeah, and let's be honest. If we're saying, we don't know if he gets in just yet, just think about that. Just think about that. We're talking about you in the same sense of potentially getting into a Hall of Fame. There's no disrespect involved in this conversation in any way. You know what I mean? Okay. Like, we don't have this conversation with guys like Broderick Bunkley. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that we're having this conversation in the same sense.
Yeah, no disrespect to Mike Patterson, but he's not in that conversation, right?
Exactly. And, Fletcher Cox, 6-time Pro Bowler, 1-time All-Pro, Super Bowl champion, the Hall of Fame All-2010s team. I mean, he has some accolades behind his name. Don't get it twisted.
Oh, it's a conversation. Some guys are like, come on, this isn't even a conversation. He's a conversation. I agree with you. Yeah.
Do you think he needed more first-team All-Pros? I think that's what's holding him back because he has 6 Pro Bowls. I mean,
probably. I mean, look, you're talking about a great combination of stuffing the run and getting after the quarterback from the defensive tackle position. A guy who's been a stalwart for the same team for more than a decade, who's won a Super Bowl with that team, who's been the best defender on that team for a lot of years. I wouldn't still put him in that category. I'd put Reddick or Sweat in that category. But you talk about a beast. He's an Eagles Hall. Anthony's right. He's an Eagles Hall of Famer without a doubt. Without question.
Yeah, I mean, 66 and a half sacks on his career.
That's a lot of sacks for a D tackle. It is.
No, it is. It is. Yeah. It is, man. He came out as a rookie, gung ho, man.
If I had one critique, there's peaks and valleys with him sometimes.
Yeah, especially in the second half of his career.
Second half of his career, there's 2 or 3 games where you don't even notice him. And I understand part of that is the nature of the position, where ends are going to put up and edge rushers are going to put up numbers with sacks and all that. Sometimes you have to occupy blockers and do dirty work at the defensive tackle spot. So I get it. But I do think there are times, I think he's actually better than he was maybe even 2-3 years ago. He's playing better at a higher level. Props to him. Yeah, but there were years where there were the peaks and valleys in there, and that would probably be my biggest criticism.
Yeah, his best stretch was 2015 to 2020, where he accumulated 3 second-team All-Pros, 1 first-team All-Pro, and he accumulated his 6 Pro Bowls. So
darn good. Eagle, yep.
He that was his window, 2015 to 2020. That was his window. His best year was in 2018. Where he got first-team All-Pro and a Pro Bowler. He had 10.5 sacks, 46 tackles, 12 tackles for loss, 34 quarterback hits in 2018. He was unstoppable. So
no, he was. So Dan thinks
if he does get in, man, that'd be awesome. He does have a Super Bowl on his resume, so that matters.
Right.
And for the most part of his career, he's been a pretty healthy guy. Obviously, in the tail end, he has some moments, but for the most part, he's been a pretty healthy guy.
So Dan thinks he's better than Bryant Young. Yeah, look, I think you could debate that. I thought Bryant Young was a hell of a player. Bryant Young is in. I just don't, maybe it's an eye test thing. Maybe I'm too much of a critical eye as someone who's watched him his whole career, where I wouldn't say he's in. But let me give you who I think is in.
Well, I mean, Bryant Young had 89.5 sacks on his career. I mean, that's the last time I checked, there's more than 66.5.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, there's no disrespect. And also Bryant Young, Super Bowl champion, Hall of Fame All 1990s team. Now he does have less Pro Bowls with 4. Fletch has 6. Bryant Young has 1 All Pro, 1 First Team All Pro. Fletch has 1 First Team All Pro as well. I don't know. The sack numbers are starkly different. But when you compare the accolades themselves in a nutshell, then you may be on to something. Whoever said that in the live chat, I can't remember who it was.
Dan said it. Yep.
Dan,
so,
Dan. You might be on to something.
Let me jump in. So here's what I would go with. Both Kelce's are locks. It's not even a question. Patrick Mahomes is a lock. It's not even a question. I think Lane Johnson, even though there's PEDs, but this sport is much more forgiving with PEDs than say baseball is. Yeah. Lane Johnson's dominance over the last 5, 6, 7 years is almost unparalleled. The guy doesn't even give up pressures, although he did give up a sack this year. But I think he should be in. So right there, you're talking about both Kelce's, Mahomes and Lane Johnson, I think, are all 4 getting in. I think 3 of those are stone cold mortal locks. Mm-hmm. I think Lane Johnson should get in and will get in. Here's what it comes down to for me. A.J. Brown, if he stays at this rate, he's only 25. He stays at this rate for 4 or 5 more years, close to it, he gets in. That would be almost 10 years of sustained excellence. I think he gets in. Jalen Hurts, I think it's a matter of health. Can he stay healthy? If Jalen Hurts stays healthy and continues to do what he does. Now, some of this also, you're going to need to win one if you're Jalen Hurts, because that can be held against you, even though it's unfair sometimes.
He's going to, if Jalen Hurts wants to get into the Hall of Fame, if you ask me, if he wants to get in, he's going to have to win at least 2. He's going to have to win at least 2.
You think he has to have 2? I think you could get in with 1. I think 2 really cement you. I think 2 cement you.
But that's the thing, right? You know, Jalen Hurts, because he's not necessarily the stat sheet stuffer.
Yes.
I don't think 1 would be enough for him.
He comes at it from a different kind of way.
Yeah. So you're going to have to. He's going to go down.
But do you think there's more leeway? There will be more leeway made now. Do you think we're more understanding of the dual threat quarterback than we were the traditional just drop back now? Like, by the time he's eligible, will it be viewed a little bit differently? I think it should, but I don't know that it will necessarily.
I don't doubt that it will. Because, you know, again, he's productive all across the board.
Yeah.
It's just that, you know, he's not exceptional at any one thing. You know what I mean? He doesn't have the most electrifying arm. He's not the most electrifying runner. The reality is, you know, Jalen Hurts, as great as he is, he doesn't necessarily pop off the screen all the time, right? So I think if he wants to get in, he has to win 2 Super Bowls. That, like you said, that cements him. That makes it undeniable because, you know, he's talented, he's productive, but on top of that, he wins. You know what I mean? He's already on track. You know, he's already on track to win a lot of games throughout his career if he maintains, you know, what he's been doing. But I think Jalen Hurts personally needs 2 Super Bowls to be locked into the NFL Hall of Fame. He wins 1, I mean, it's Eagles Hall of Famer easily. But if he wins 2, I think that gets him in.
All right, I think he can get in with 1, but we'll see. I think it depends on how things are viewed. Go for it. You think Hurts passes McNabb in passing yards all time in a league that throws 70? Yeah, he very well could. I mean, you look at the way, especially because as his career goes on, right? He is going to run less and throw more. He just is. It's a league that throws more, and he'll throw more as his career goes on because guys naturally don't run as much because they lose a little bit. They want to preserve themselves. So it's only natural that his passing numbers are going to go up. So I think he's got a shot. There's 2 other, I think, wild cards in this thing. Julio Jones has some damn good numbers.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Julio. That slipped my mind. Jeez.
Julio Jones' career, the last couple of years, obviously he's, you know, Father Time's catching up a little bit here. But you look at his Atlanta years, And man, he was machine-like.
Mm-hmm.
The other guy that I would think about here, Chris Jones, by the time everything's said and done, another defensive tackle. Chris Jones has a real good shot at this thing too. Chris Jones is a monster.
Yeah, it's
So
true.
I would just, look at those two guys. They're not as obvious as some of the other ones, but I would think long and hard about both of them. Because
I can't argue with those guys. Chris Jones especially, man. He's a great player, man. That's just the reality. He's so productive. He's so ferocious. Man, just he has 2 Super Bowls on his on his nameplate already. All he has to do is maintain. He gets in.
But I mean, it's just all the more reason, like, as if this game, there wasn't enough hype surrounding this game. Super Bowl rematch, Reed against his old team, the Kelce brothers playing one another, Mahomes and Jalen Hurts.
Mm-hmm.
And then you think about the amount of accomplished talent that's going to be playing on this field. I mean, the Monday night, the ESPN folks have to be drooling. I mean, honest to God, like this is such an unbelievable setup for this Monday night game.
Yeah, absolutely. I was thinking about what Sil said with this, what I got Big Sil said about, do I think Hurts can pass McNabb in the all-time passing, for the Philadelphia Eagles? I would have to agree with you. I think he can. This is the reason why. At the end of the day, it's a numbers game. It's a math equation. And over Donovan McNabb's career, and over his career, he's thrown for 37,276 yards. That's his total career. As a Philadelphia Eagle, he's thrown for 32,873. So if I take his entire career numbers, right, and I divide that by his 12-year career, that's an average of 3,106 yards per season. So if Jalen Hurts can have a 10-year, 11-year career with the Philadelphia Eagles, averaging this exact amount of yards per season, which is very easy in this new NFL, he'll eclipse Donovan McNabb's passing numbers for the Philadelphia Eagles easily. Mm-hmm. If I take it a step further right now, with Donovan McNabb's 11 years, specifically with the Philadelphia Eagles, 32,873 yards for his entire Eagles career, which is 11 seasons, divided by 11, that's a total of 2,988 yards per season. Jalen Hurts is easily going to pass those numbers if he plays for the Philadelphia Eagles for 10 seasons. At the rate he's passing it now, even if he's averaging 3,800 yards a season for 10 straight years, he's going to pass Donovan McNabb, without a shadow of a doubt. Again, regardless if you want to debate talent, it's a numbers game at the end of the day. And and if he stays healthy, which I think he will for 10 seasons with the Philadelphia Eagles, he's already 4 years deep, 3 years as a starter. As of right now, Jalen Hurts has 10,253 yards on his Eagles career. If you divide that by 4 years, that's 2,563. But remember, that first year, he only played 4 games. Right. So if I want to be fair to him, I mean, I think he's going to easily pass Donovan McNabb's numbers. He already has 10,253 in 3 years starting. So,
yep.
I mean,
and look, let's face it, McNabb's career didn't last super long. It especially fell off after he left here. The Washington and Minnesota years, it was over very quickly after that. And I again, barring anything unforeseen here, I think Jalen may play longer as an Eagle. All right, let's get a timeout. Let's come back. What we're going to do when we dive back in is storylines. There's a lot of storylines coming off of the Eagles right now with guys returning. Jason Kelce, interesting comments on a quote-unquote revenge game. Jalen Hurts on his health. Guys coming back. What do you do to replace Goddard? What do you do with Travis Kelce? All those kind of things. Next, the segment after that, we're going to do game over unders. For example, Jalen Hurts, 280.5 passing yards. That's an example. We'll look at some of the big games in the league, including games related to the Eagles, teams that are close to them in the standings in the NFC, NFC East. A lot of other storylines. We'll get into the Carissa Thompson thing. If you're not familiar with that, the whole debate about sideline reporters and what she had to say, she's also issued, a clarification / apology today. So we'll discuss all of that when we can. We'll give our predictions, obviously. All of that when we come back. Don't go anywhere. That's Tone to Shields. I'm Rob Ellis. We are Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. Let's talk about Bravo Pizza of Havertown. Hungry? Yes. Check. Let's go, man. Bravo Pizza of Havertown is the place that you want to go. Family owned since 1985. Alex and the crew are in there 7 days a week, just cooking up the best food possible. I'll be in there later today as I am each and every Friday and days besides that. Here's the great thing about them. They have 20 different styles of pizza. They have slices to go. They have specialized pizza however you want it. But if you're not up for pizza that day, great. They got fresh pasta, sandwiches, wraps, wings, salads, anything that you're looking for. Bravo Pizza of Havertown is also committed to the community. They have fundraisers for charities, for little leagues, for schools, where the proceeds go to those organizations. You could follow them at the Bravo Pizza of on Instagram and Facebook for daily specials and promotions. They're located at 1305 Westchester Pike, Manoa Shopping Center in Havertown, 1305 Westchester Pike, Manoa Shopping Center in Havertown. Give them a call, 610-446-3810, 610-446-3810, Bravo Pizza of Havertown.
I remember getting my heart broken when they lost the Super Bowl in 2004. We were big Eagles fans. We moved to South Philly because of the Eagles. When they won, we went straight to Broad Street, and everybody was going nuts over there, and it was just a memory that you'll never forget.